Nobody needs to know my business about what I'm wanting it to do, even if it's something. It's not like I'm trying to hide anything. But nobody needs
Yeah.
to know. Welcome back to Simple Tech Media. We're here with Tina and Nikki, and we're joined together again. 2 weeks ago we said we're back, and then we skipped out last week. But had we had a big event for my new job, and
Mhm.
I worked 48 hours for my part-time job last week
Oh my
on top of my
gosh.
teaching job. So it was a busy, busy week last week, but it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. So
That's
that's what
awesome.
happened on my end. And, it was a once in a 10-year type thing that was happening. And
That's so
it was
fun.
a lot of fun. But on the
Uh,
backside, I'm getting to use some new technology that I've never used before. So
mhm.
eventually I'd like to talk about that. But right now I'm still learning. So there's not really a whole lot for me to say about it. And then, Nikki, has there been any other sleet storms that popped up on you while you were taking the children to their cars?
Listen, let me just tell you how absolutely wild this state is because today it was 80 degrees.
Oh,
Like 2 days ago, it was like in my coat and boots and freezing cold, and then today it's 80. So
okay.
I'm just changing with the weather. My mood is changing with the weather. It's
So we caught her
terrible.
on a good day where it's warm
Yes.
out. So she has a big smile on her face. That's why she was
Yes.
willing to jump on and do recording.
Oh, of
I'll have to
course,
check the
yes.
weather first before I reach out and say, "Hey, would you like to do a
Mhm.
recording?" No, I
Unless
remember.
unless it's a snow day. So if you, like, check the weather and there's lots of snow, I'll be more than happy to do it on a snow day because that
Okay.
means no school. I'm just, like, chilling at home, having the best time ever. I will jump right on here in a heartbeat.
So your school does take snow days and you don't have to switch to virtual? Because I know some schools go virtual for snow days.
Yes, yes. We thankfully have some days into our schedule. So as long as it doesn't overtake the amount of days that we have in into our schedule, then yes, we get the day off. But once it goes
Nice.
over that limit, then I got to figure something out.
Nice. You're gonna have to text me when you have your first snow day so I can celebrate with you
Oh my
and
gosh,
be so
yes.
excited for you.
Yes. Oh, yes. I don't know if I'll be happy about the snow, but I'll be happy about the day off. Praise
But at least if you
Jesus.
get to stay in and snuggle your puppy and be
Yes.
warm and bundled up,
Mm,
yeah,
so fun.
that would be nice.
Oh, that's
Okay. Well,
exciting.
we'll be thankful for your 80 something degree weather
Thank
today.
you so much. I'm
It's
so
been in the
happy.
90s here. It's so
Oh,
hot. It's just so hot. But it's been
stop
pretty, so I
it.
can't complain about that.
I've been seeing some posts from some of our friends still at the beach and having those
Mhm.
beach days, and I am so jealous, but I'm so thankful for the 80 degrees. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. I have not been to the beach in forever. I should make it back down there.
Same, same.
I still live here, and I feel like you probably have been to the beach more recently than I have. Although, no, I did go for a couple of hours when my mom and my, cousin and nephew came this summer, so
So
there's
fun.
that. Yeah. Today we're not going to get so much into really what we're working on now because we went into a lot of that recently in our last episode, but we are going to talk about a few things. I think it's time to bring a little I Spy AI back into the mix. And I was asking Nikki some things that she's been doing recently, and she's been working with Copilot, which I was
Mhm.
just logged into. I was playing
Oh my
around with
gosh.
Copilot as I was waiting for you to join.
Yeah.
And while I've just played with Copilot, she's actually using it in official ways. So, Nikki, tell us some of your experiences using Copilot and integrating that with
Yeah.
other things in the Microsoft suite.
So far, all I've really done is integrated Copilot with Teams and
Hmm.
Outlook. I I have been trying to expand my horizon, so I have been working with Google a little bit, but then I have to stay in the Microsoft suite somehow. So I
Right.
was looking into Teams and trying to utilize the AI that's within these systems already. So, did you know that when you have a Teams meeting, there is an option for adding Copilot in with your team? And if you add it with your team, the first thing it can do is transcribe your entire meeting from start to finish. And a reason why that could be so beneficial is if you have a larger company where you have more people coming in and they may be coming in at random times,
Mhm.
because it has a transcription of your meeting, it can summarize exactly what's
Mhm.
gone over in the meeting. So that way we don't have to wait for the person to say, okay, what did you cover again? Because I just hopped on. They can read the summary and then it tells them exactly what happened. It can even go so far as to, if the person types a prompt to say, like, who said this point in the summary, it will take them to the exact person who brought up the idea. And you can see like snippets of that conversation happening. So it's so cool what it could do inside of those Teams meetings. And
Mhm.
then it can go a step further. So if you have people asking questions here and there, I mean, we've been in these business meetings, and we know how
Right.
sometimes we ask a question and then we'll give some ideas, but we don't ever come to a conclusion inside the meeting. And
Right.
so at the end of the meeting, if you're looking at the summary there, you can type into Copilot, were there any open ended questions? And it literally pops up everything that you didn't finish or didn't
Oh.
come to a conclusion with. So that way, you know exactly like where you need to pick up with the next meeting, or if something is important that you didn't address, how can you address it moving forward? It is so crazy what it can do within that system. So that way, you have everything organized, analyzed right then and there. And then if you need to make any schedules, you can
Mhm.
take that synopsis and it will integrate it into Outlook. So you can say,
Mm.
plan a meeting for a follow up meeting on this day, and it will take it and make a meeting in Outlook. Crazy what it can do to help productivity. And I haven't played with it too much in an organized setting. Um, but when I was moving about with it with teams and seeing how we can integrate it with the education side of it and whatever, I noticed all of those things that it could do. And it is so, so cool. And I want to learn more.
That's amazing. And you
Yeah.
and I have both spent time taking minutes in meetings and trying to keep up with what's happening.
Hmm.
That would be such a life changer to be able to go back in and then edit it. And a lot of time transcripts
Listen.
like that will come
Hmm.
through and there will be typos in them. There will
Oh,
be
yeah.
issues with it. But you can go in and edit it. The transcripts that come up with teams that are generated, and really with anything, you can usually go in and make edits to it to
Right.
fix spellings of names and whatever else that would be.
Right.
So that's really cool. That's
I know.
awesome.
I was sitting there and I was like, if I knew that I could do this when I was taking minutes for the meetings, it would have made my life so much easier trying to like remember if we ever did
Right.
come to a conclusion on what we're doing in the next few weeks or the next semester or whatever, how we're moving courses around, like trying to remember all of that. And then did did we ever actually decipher what
Right.
we're going to do? And then the recording is all there within Teams. Everything that you need to know is right there. Well, I was gonna say I could have had Copilot even write my minutes for me,
I
but
was about
that's
to say,
that's taking it a
I can
little
see
too
her coming in
far.
with her laptop, just sliding it in, saying, "Here, this is here to take minutes.
E
I'm headed to the beach. I'll be back to pick this up."
exactly. You know me.
Just make sure you plug it
Always.
in.
Yes, always having technology work for me, but there is, as you said, there is a significance in having human interaction because the AI is fantastic and it can do wonderful things, but nothing will take the place truly of human
Right.
interaction.
I wish that I had had that when I first started taking minutes
Right.
years ago. This was way before I had ever met you. This was when
Mhm.
I was in grad school, and I would take minutes in the engineering meetings or the
Oh, man.
sciences, and
Mhm.
I would have to wait until everybody left and go up to the speakers and say, "Can you please spell that word that you
Oh
said? I
my
have no idea how to even pronounce it."
goodness.
Yeah,
That's
it was
wild.
crazy.
Yeah, see, I got spoiled. I just had business. Yeah, it was easy.
Mhm. Well,
That's fun.
awesome. So she used Copilot for Teams, and Copilot's just kind of taking over really
Yeah,
AI. Google has a new one
everything.
out. Somebody stopped me at work the other day and said, "Hey, have you seen Google Notebook? You can generate, this or that with that."
Mhm.
I have played around with it now a little bit, but I haven't had a lot of time with it. But we'll come back to that one another day. But I did because I didn't know you were going to have a story about Copilot. I thought, let me
Mhm.
use Copilot today to see what we can come up with. And I'm feeling very lighthearted. I feel like everything's just been so busy. I needed just some fun things. So I came up with some would you rather questions that I asked from Copilot as I was waiting
That's
for you to log
awesome.
in. And I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you and
Oh,
see. And then
okay.
if you're listening, you can comment along and tell us which one you would pick.
Okay.
So, Nikki,
Yes.
would you rather use voice commands or manual typing to search for information? What's your preference? To speak and have something done or to type it in?
I type it in.
You type it in. Same.
Yeah. Really?
The manual commands, I feel like nobody needs to know my business about what I'm wanting it to do.
Right.
Even if it's something, it's not like I'm trying to hide anything. Nobody needs
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think
I
the same
have an
thing.
Alexa in my room. And I have to change the name of it because I don't live alone. And then the other part of the house is an Alexa that's not my own. So I changed mine. You can change the name of them. So mine is a different name. And the other night, I was going to sleep. So I was setting my alarm for the next day and I kept saying, Alexa, set an alarm for, and, I told her what time to set the alarm. And all of a sudden, I heard this banging on the wall. And it was my housemate, and she heard me talking to my device, telling it to set an alarm. So she said, "Well, she's awake." So she started banging on the wall because she happened to be in her closet over there.
Gosh.
Anyway, it just gave me a heart attack. There's no reason why I need to say that stuff out loud. I should have just gone into the app and typed it in. I'm just joking. That
That
one's kind of
is
extreme, but
so
yeah, I would
funny.
usually rather type stuff in
Yeah, I
than
mean,
say it out loud.
I see people constantly. They're walking around, "Hey, what's for dinner tonight?" Question mark. "How are you doing?" Exclamation point. Like, which more power to you. That's
Mhm.
fantastic. But I'm not like a speaker into doing
Everybody
things.
knows.
I just do
However,
it.
sometimes I get lazy and I get tired of typing, especially when you're in a field where you just type all the time. Sometimes
Yeah,
I'm anti typing. And so I have learned to start letting myself use that microphone button and to talk in stuff, but usually I'm a typer,
that's
a
awesome.
typist. Yeah. Okay.
I'm interested to know what everyone else is.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah. Do
we're
you
the
guys
odd
like doing
ones.
voice commands or manual typing?
Yeah. It's probably gonna be voice commands, and I just made fun of people. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to offend. I just mean that's
No,
just not
everybody
my
has a
cup of
preference.
tea. Yes,
Right.
yes.
Right. Nikki's very quiet. She does not go around and she's very private, I guess I would
There we
say.
go.
She
Yes.
she keeps to herself.
Right.
If she lets you in, even when she lets you in, it's like, she's very private with what's going on. So I can appreciate that. I got it. I can be very
So
quiet, but once you get me started, I'll tell you everything, and that's a problem.
oh
So
my
I just have to be
gosh.
careful. Okay, would you rather only use a desktop computer or have a flip phone?
Oh my goodness, desktop.
Mhm.
I could not survive on a flip phone. I am from no, no, no.
This is
Listen.
where our age is going to to show
Mhm.
up.
Yeah, I there's no way. There is absolutely no way I could survive on a flip phone. I use, like, my camera in my phone to, like, make sure my makeup's okay, like and it's not even for I mean, obviously, like, we all love our social media. I
Mhm.
100% do as well.
Right.
But, like, I use my phone I could never go to a flip phone, ever. My very first phone, I was allowed to get a phone when I was 16, and my very first phone was, like, a black, like, thick flip phone, and it is so embarrassing, but I use that thing. Oh, the little games you could play on it, but horrible compared to what I have now. I could never go
Mhm.
back, ever.
Yeah, but there's such a satisfaction with taking that phone and squeezing it shut, and you just have that sound. People
Oh,
know.
yeah.
People out
Like
there will know what I'm talking about. You have
yeah.
that frustrated click of the phone, or you just said what you needed to say and you clamp it shut. There is something to be said about that satisfaction of having a flip phone in your hand and being able to slam it shut.
This has absolutely nothing to do with anything. But listen, I was on see, social media. I was on Instagram the other day and cuz the flip phone reminded me of it. I am from the generation I'm about to age myself. I'm from the generation where like we would like I would like pay for ringtones on my
Mhm.
phone, like fancy ringtones. And I saw a post. So whoever made the post, you made me like absolutely die laughing. It was like, I'm from the generation where I paid to have ringtones on my phone. And then if this thing ever made one sound now, I would throw it across the room. And that is so true because my phone does not make any sound ever. It is on silent. It is on do not disturb most of the time. Like it makes zero sound. But yet I paid for it to like sing me songs when I was 16.
And it was always the
Wild.
most random songs that would be
Yes.
available as a
Yes.
ringtone.
Yes. Horrible. Oh my word. I can't believe it. I can't believe
Oh my
it.
goodness. That's so funny.
Mm.
Okay, so then knowing how much you love your phone, let me ask you this one.
Oh
Would you
gosh.
rather only charge your phone once a week or not have a camera on your phone?
Oh, I could go with not having a camera.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I know I just said that I use my camera, but listen, there's, like, mirrors everywhere in the world, so I don't
Right.
actually have to use it, and I don't really take a lot of pictures. I have
Okay.
other people take pictures and send
Got
them
it.
to me. So I
Okay.
could go yeah, I could go without the camera. The once a week, I charge this baby, like, twice a day, girl. I can go no once a week. What about you?
I think the same. I
Mhm.
Although I use my camera a lot because I does a screenshot count as a camera? I
See
screenshot everything and I take pictures of stuff all the
yeah.
time so I don't forget.
Mm.
So otherwise I'll forget stuff.
Yeah, I think a screenshot is fine,
A screenshot's
but
different because
yeah,
I
but, like, an
screenshot
actual
stuff all
picture?
the time. So if I can
Yeah.
keep a screenshot, I'll probably be able to charge it. But yeah, I'm not usually
Yeah.
taking a lot of photos. I just have a lot of screenshots in my reel, especially if I'm not around and like family and stuff. So in
Yeah.
my day-to-day life, I don't use my camera a whole lot.
Yeah, same.
All right, one more, and this one's a little
Okay,
bit more technical.
okay.
Would you rather, so based on both of our skill sets, we both know where we're at with this.
Mhm.
Would you rather learn more coding or learn graphic design?
Oh, mm, see, mm, probably probably graphic design.
Mhm.
I think because I can use that in more facets.
Mhm.
I mean, everywhere. They're looking for instructional designers, graphic
Mhm. Right.
designers, and I would be able to use that more than I could use coding. Coding's very specific.
Right.
So I think I would want to learn more graphic design. That's a good one.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I have so many ideas in this brain that I would love to
Mhm.
get out that are creative stuff. I just
Mhm.
don't have that ability to get it out.
Mhm. No,
And
I know exactly what you mean.
I would love for that. And I feel like coding, I know there's a lot to coding that I don't know. I just
Yeah.
know the very, very, very basics of it. And I
Yeah.
enjoy coding as well. I love sitting through, it's like a puzzle of figuring out, okay, exactly the right character to get the result that you're looking
Yes.
for. So I would love to learn more coding and actually have an understanding of that. So
Yeah.
those two are really close in my book as to what I would prefer to, or what I would like to have more information on.
Yeah.
But I think the graphic design for me.
After I did, you and I both know I did a website last year.
Yes.
And after I did that website with the amount of coding that I had to like
Mhm.
learn to be able to pull off like simple things that people like would know with form submissions instead of going here, go here and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And most of that stuff is like already built in, so thank
Mhm.
Jesus. But the stuff that I had to do, I was like, I could go my whole life with never having to touch this again. Ever. Like it's
It's a
like
lot.
the biggest math problem ever. It is
Mhm.
so much, and one like comma or one space
Right.
even will change the whole code and make it insanely crazy. And I'm
Right.
like, the people like mad respect to the people
Mhm.
who learn that and do it and can whip it out like that because that is another level of just amazing.
Right. I feel like graphic design, you would get more of an instant gratification than you would for
Yes.
coding, for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think, so much work goes into both of those fields. It's just
I know.
incredible what people can do.
Yeah. That's
Very
awesome.
good.
Those are good. I like
Yeah,
those.
those were fun. So we'll see if I can get some more another day. So those were Would You Rather questions by
From Copilot.
Copilot, Microsoft Copilot. We are not sponsored, by the way.
Right, but,
But we could be. We could
I
be.
I will promote you all day long. Anything how much do I need to talk about Microsoft for them to notice that I love them? I really,
Right.
truly do.
Right. Okay, speaking about Microsoft, so I texted you the other day and I actually made a video of this. I just haven't put the video out there. I haven't
Oh
edited it yet.
gosh.
But I did a video, so I'm going to show you all how to delay a text and all that with
Oh,
iOS
awesome.
18.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
in the video that I put out, you guys are going to see me text Nikki. And I believe in that I say, remind me to tell you the story about the Google lock, whatever. So the
Mhm.
new place that I'm working for, they asked me if I would come down to their studio and fix the lock on the door. It's one of those ones that you can punch in a code and let people in. They rent this out so people, they want to be able to change the code for everybody. And I have never done anything with one of these, but I thought, those of you, if you're new to listening to us, Nikki and I don't claim to be perfect at technology all across the board. I think the thing that we can bring to the table is having a lot of understanding about how much work it is to know how
Yes.
to do things. And
Right.
then we just both have a teaching background and being able to break it down for people. And so that's kind of where we're at with it. And I think if you run across anybody who says that they are an expert across the board in tech, that something is not right there. To me, that's a huge red flag because in my opinion, it is impossible to be perfect at everything that would be out there in regard to technology. So
Right.
we're both very comfortable with the Microsoft suite. We can both do some very basic design and some
Mhm.
basic editing, some basic coding, some of those things. And so that's kind of where we're at with that. And we've enjoyed putting a podcast together. I like the editing part of it. I like coming up with things to talk about and to it makes me go out there and see, okay, what's relevant right now. So
Mhm.
anyway, I was asked if I could go down and try to fix this lock, and I thought, okay, yeah, I can do that. And I picked a time when I knew nobody else was going to be there because it is the worst when you're trying to do something, especially for the first time, but really anytime. Because when people are over your shoulder, it's like that's when it's not going to
Oh,
work
yeah.
because it's just the nature of how it is. So, I go down there, nobody's there. Well, there needs to be this little connect piece that plugs into the wall that has um the signal for the lock to work because the lock doesn't have Wi-Fi connectors in it. It's the other piece. So it's like a Bluetooth connection, whatever. But that was behind a glass wall. So when it wasn't connecting, I thought, okay, I reset the whole thing, took all the batteries out, hit the refresh, like cleared the whole thing out, and it wouldn't connect to this adapter. And so I thought, okay, what would your thought be if you had like studio equipment around and there was this
Mhm.
this glass partition like wall from floor to ceiling, glass in between. You have all this like recording equipment and stuff. What would your thought be if the connector was in there and in the other room was the door? I'm just curious to see if we tried similar things. What would your process be at that point? Because we may tackle it a little differently. So there's a little
Okay.
piece that plugs into the wall
Yes.
that gives it the signal,
Yes.
and that part's in a studio. There's a wall in between the studio and the door. So there's a glass wall in between there. The door has
Okay.
the handle and the lock through the
And you
glass
can't and
door,
you can't
and you
get
have all
in?
kinds of equipment, and it will not, the connection will not connect. The app will
And
not let me connect.
and you
What
can't
would
get into the door?
I could get into the door, so I was able to go in there.
Okay. So, I mean, that would be I would just go in.
Yeah, I went in there. But if it's not connecting, because everything I look said it might be, you know, be too far away or
Even once you're inside next to it?
well, I can't take the door handle off. I can't take the lock off
Oh, duh.
because the door is
I can't take the door handle. I forgot it's a lock. I'm thinking of like I'm thinking of like a security system or something that you can like unplug and like just bring it over. Forgot it's
You
a
see me grabbing a whole door and bringing it into the
bringing
other
it
room.
over.
I'm just here.
Okay.
I'm just here to check the Wi-Fi connection. Don't bother me.
Don't mind me.
Don't mind me. I'm just carrying this door over here to fix the lock.
Okay, listen. All right. So, and the Wi-Fi thing is plugged in,
Yeah, it's plugged in, but it's like you can easily unplug it.
and there's
So
not another like outlet closer to the door?
the other outlet wasn't right next to the door, but it was across the room in the room where the door was. So I see where you're going with that. You just unplug it and bring it into the other room. And I
Right,
thought,
somewhere where it's
well,
closer.
yeah, I'll bring it closer. So I did that. Didn't work.
Of course it didn't.
So, I already had to go digging for a screwdriver. Found a screwdriver. I need to keep a toolbox like in my backpack or something, like a
Yeah.
toolkit. Anyway, so I found all that. And then I thought, well, and it just kept saying the signal, it's not strong enough. You're going to have to bring it closer. And I was like, where am I going to plug this in? There's no plug
There's
there.
nothing.
So I went digging around and found an extension cord. So anybody who is watching the video of this for the security cameras, they see me go dig around for uh, an extension cord. I pull it across the whole building, and I'm
Oh
holding
my
the little
gosh.
piece next to the lock to try to get it to connect. And in the app, nope. Reset again the lock, reset again the little connect. I think they call it a connect. So these are Google products. The lock is called a Yale is the name of it. So it's a Google Yale, Yale. Anyway, so then I start looking up, is this happening for other people? And yeah,
Yeah.
of course it is. Of course it is. And they all say, I just had to keep restarting my phone. I had to restart, this and that. 3 3 hours later, I'm
Oh my
still over there
gosh.
holding this thing, like trying to, what if I go outside? What if I come inside? Whatever. Um, so I was on my iPhone when I did all this,
These
and I had the
people.
Google app on my iPhone for exactly what it said in the instructions. I remembered that I happened to have my Google Pixel that we use for Simple Tech
No
in my
way.
bag. Google phone. I went in, downloaded the
No
app,
way.
immediately worked. Immediately. It gave me
That
different
is
options in the app and everything, completely different.
wild.
Same app, supposedly. I just had to have a Google phone. Who has a Google phone just sitting around in their bag? I happen to because I'm a nerd, but yeah,
Their
that's all it
stuff
was.
talks that badly to Apple? I did not know that.
It was absurd. So I'm just saying, for any of you out there who have been in the same problem, I guess you just need to go buy go
Everything.
buy a Google phone. I mean, it's like 900 something dollars for to get it to work.
That's
That's all it
wild
was.
actually.
It immediately worked. It took me about less than 5 minutes to get it going once I switched to the Google phone.
I mean,
Same
it's
app, same everything,
great.
it just gave me different options.
Great tactics. You have to buy everything Google in order for it to work seamlessly. But Apple's the same way. They're all the same way. Like it works perfect when it's all. But I mean, duh, because they want everyone to have all their stuff. So I mean, I
Right.
understand, but that's crazy that it was
It's
that
rude.
bad.
It's
It's
so
rude.
rude.
It's rude. That is
It's so
hilarious.
rude. Yeah, I got it to work. And then,
And
it's like, "Oh, Tina, thank you so much. Like, we never could have done it." Yeah, you could never have done it because you didn't have the right phone. Who would have known? So I look like this hero. I did nothing. I mean, I did the same thing that anybody would have done.
yeah.
I did not need the long extension cord
I was gonna
stretched
say, but
across
wait,
the whole building.
wait till they read the security footage back. They watch it back 3 hours later, and
Right.
it's like a
Literally.
oh,
Literally. Yeah.
that's amazing.
So I dropped my roommate off at work and went over there. And so I dropped her off at like 10. She taught
Hmm.
until like 2. Yeah, I was just finishing whenever she finished.
Gosh,
So I just
that's
went and picked her up and we went home. So crazy.
crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
That's
Anyway,
wild
if you have a Google Yale, it works great. It's beautiful.
with the Google phone.
If you have a Google phone. So if it disconnects itself for whatever reason, find somebody with Google phone. Make friends, network. This is what networking is all about.
See,
Yeah.
amen. Amen.
Right.
We have some pros coming from this conversation. This is why
Right.
networking is important. In case you can't open the door and you're locked
Well,
out.
and I told Nikki when I was getting us phones for Simple Tech, and I got us
Yeah.
phones because you have to put your phone number in for everything, and after a while, it's like, okay, you've used this number too much,
Mhm.
and with work and everything. So I got us phones, and I specifically got us something different than what we like. So we both
Yeah.
have iPhones, and we both love our iPhones.
Yeah.
I still am not a huge fan of the other phone, but I do try to make myself use it, and I use it for simple text stuff whenever I post
Yes.
to those social media sites and stuff. But this was perfect, and I thought I'm so glad that I had that with me. 'Cause usually it's dead, honestly. Usually it's like sitting somewhere. I have to go find it whenever I want it. I
Mhm.
usually don't pull it out unless I'm posting something for us, but I'll be carrying it around with me every time I go to that building. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Wow, that's
So
crazy. That's
so that's
crazy.
what happened.
You
Insane. Insane.
Or you're screw I can literally see a little screwdriver trying to, like,
I
take
had to dig a
apart
bobby pin
everything.
out of the bottom of
Yep.
my backpack to try to pop the battery
Mhm.
cover off. Yeah, I was MacGyvering it all over the place in there, and
And
thankfully nobody else was there.
all
My
it
first time in the building
was the
and, my
phone.
first like, "Okay, Tina's we're gonna take care of this."
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah. And I just like, "Okay, Lord, please don't let me tell them the first time they ask me to do something like this that, like, nah, I don't know how to do it." Or, "Go buy a new lock." Can you imagine if I just told them, "Go buy a new lock." You need a
Yeah,
new lock.
yeah, it's
That would have been
broken.
so expensive for a 2-minute fix. Oh my goodness.
That's
It's insane.
crazy.
Absolutely insane.
Speaking of Google, I
Mhm.
have a tech tip of the week, and this is regarding Google. Um,
Oh.
did you know? I did not know this. I found it out from one of my coworkers. So shout out to you. You know who you are. Um, do you know that if you want to open a brand new Google Sheet, so without going to google.com and Sheets and blah, 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 if
Mhm.
you just go to the address bar and type in sheets.new,
Oh.
automatically pulls up a brand new Google Sheet. And then you can
Oh.
begin doing whatever you need to do.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah,
always hit the
just,
little dots in the corner, but that's
yeah.
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so then just go up there. If you've already done it before, all you have to do is type a little S. It pops up and bada bing, bada
Oh,
boom.
there you go. Let me see. I'm gonna try it. Sheets
Dot new.
dot new. I
And if
did
it
dot
doesn't
net.
work,
No, it
oops.
did it.
See?
Awesome.
So then you don't have to worry about trying to find the logo and click on it and blah, blah,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. Automatically pulls up a brand new sheet.
Yeah, because it doesn't show up. The logo and everything doesn't show up if you're already
Hmm.
in a web page or something.
See?
Awesome.
Now that's if you use Google Sheets. If you don't,
Right.
you can use it. It's very simple. Sheets.new.
There you go. There you go.
Um, also, oh, I have more things about Google
Okay.
Sheets, but I'll save it. I'll save it. It's okay. Actually, no, I'm not going to save it. Did you know that in Google Sheets, if you have, because I'm an Excel, I love Excel. I taught Excel, excuse me. In Google Sheets, if you like put in your data and you want to like put in a calculation, it automatically like puts in the calculation for you without clicking buttons, without doing anything. It just types it in.
How do you tell it what you want?
You okay, so it assumes what you want.
Oh, okay.
It'll
It's
automatically
anticipating.
assume. Yes.
I spy a little
So
AI in there.
yes, exactly.
Mhm.
So it automatically assumes that you want to like sum or average or whatever. Now
Okay.
some of the times it's going to be wrong because you want to change the calculation.
Right.
But you don't even have to like click buttons and auto sum or what, it just pops up like it's
It
there.
just knows.
It's crazy. Crazy.
So, Google's been nice to you. Google's been giving me some job security, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I need to put out some videos on Google.
Yes, yes, you should, and I will not be going back to look at the security footage of
Oh
me,
my
working
gosh.
on the door.
That's hilarious. That's amazing.